Hello everyone and welcome to the final round of the RRL GT3 Masters Series. We are at the Nurburgring for a 100-minute race here to end off the season. Sorry we're a bit late to the party for this stream. We had some technical difficulties, but we are right here with you to follow all the action. We have qualifying coming up in about 5 minutes time, so let's dive right into the information that we have in store for you today. If you have been following this series, you know it's an 8-round series and we have some different race lengths in these races. We have 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 75 and 100 minutes, which is what we will have today to round off the season. Most importantly, we have a 2x tires multiplier and a 1x on fuel, so strategies have been quite interesting in the last few rounds, and that won't be any different today. Looking at the last race, the top 3 in the championship took podium positions at Bathurst, with Ralph Arella, 3rd in the championship, taking the win, Robert Horvat, championship leader, taking 2nd, and Vlastimir Lucas taking 3rd position. In the AM Cup, which we will go into a bit later, it's Jack Camaletto from Jürgen Walby and Andre Mol at Bathurst, which was a cracker of a race with some high attrition rate, as you could see, with some of the front runners being caught out by the difficulties of the mountain. Looking at the current standings heading into the final round of this championship, it's as close as ever in the Drivers' Championship. We have Robert Horvat 3 points only clear of Vlastimir Lucas, and Ralph Arella less than 20 points behind. So it will probably be between these 3 drivers to clinch the Drivers' Championship. Question is, can Robert Horvat retain his GT3 title, or will Lucas or Arella walk away with it? Dore still has an outside chance with 110 points up for grabs today, but he will need some kind of miracle to get to the top of those standings. In terms of the Teams Championship, it was very, very tight up until last race, where BH Racing unfortunately had a DNF for David Dore, which now gave 77 quite a healthy lead, about 50-60 points, but anything is still possible there. SRT looks to have already one hand on the 3rd place trophy, so that is looking good. If we look at the AM Cup, which consists of drivers that haven't got any podium finishes at RRLeagues yet, it's Jürgen Walby, just under 20 points clear of Andre Mol, and then Jack Camaletto in 3rd with 30 points still up for grabs. Some things could still change, and seeing that this championship is quite special, I mean many position changes during the races, anything can still happen there. And then finally looking at the Ironman Cup, which looks at laps driven by all the drivers and excludes any race winners, as you could see. It's Andre Mol, the only driver, I think, finishing not finishing all of the laps, but the only non-winner with 1,528 kilometers driven. He is 6 kilometers in front of Simon Fillingham, so he is at least a whole lap in front of Simon Fillingham. Let's see if Andre can keep both hands on that title in this 100-minute race, where there is of course a lot of time for mistakes and a lot of time for lapping, which is what Simon Fillingham will have to do to get ahead of Andre Mol. Today, as I already said, we're driving the Nurburgring GP circuit, a good test for the drivers with some very technical first sector, hard braking zone into the hairpin, good passing opportunity as well, and then some famous curbs like the Schumacher S, and then the NGK chicane to end off the lap, also as a passing opportunity. We have 2 series running next to this one, also finalizing. We have our DTM Championship in Race Room Racing Experience, and we have our BTCC Championship in R Factor 2. Both will conclude in about a week's time, so if you want to still join us, that is still possible, but be quick. And sneak peek for you guys on the 11th of December, so that's in about 2 weeks time, 3 weeks time, we will reveal our next series for the start of the new year in January, so stay tuned for that, as we will provide you with some more racing opportunities here at rrleagues.com. So here are live images from the qualifying session here at the Nurburgring. Everybody is out on track. We have 22 drivers out on the track. Let's have a quick look who's out first. Looks like that's Nemanja Manojlovic. Let's follow him around, shall we? And I will take a quick drink and let you follow the lap from on board Nemanja Manojlovic's Chevrolet. So here we are, finishing off the first qualifying lap of this session with Nemanja Manojlovic. Not a perfect lap from him, but very decent to set a benchmark time. Braking, those curbs are there to bite you if you get it wrong. I've just informed people on the other stream side that they need to come here to watch this race, so let's hope they make their way down there, or down here, let's say. If you have any questions about the stream, about the racers, then just let us know, as Manojlovic gets trumped by Vlastimir Lukáš already with a 155.9, and all the times now going in. Let's have a quick look. Everybody setting their first lap times here around the Nurburgring. Nobody really improving so far, but Vlastimir Lukáš second in the championship. He's in provisional pole. Nuno Miguel Abreu, pole king in this series, is currently in fourth. Where is our championship leader? He has no time set yet. Robert Horvat currently driving around in 17th, so no lap set yet for him. Looks like he aborted his first out lap. We have 9.5 minutes still to go. Yevgeny Lazarenko improving on his own time by 2 seconds even. So he's looking good, and it's quite busy on track. 22 drivers is not the most we have had. In the beginning of the series we had over 30 drivers on the grid, but still everybody a bit bunched up on the track, which is not ideal to set a perfect lap time. Simon Fillingham as well, improving on his own time. Get a quick look out through the chicane and then into the last curve. As Jack Camaletto, I think, goes into the pits. Where will Yevgeny end up? He's in 15th at the moment, last of the time setters. He stays in 15th position. Robert Horvat going into 2nd position. He did not show up on my timing screens, no idea why, but 3 tenths down on Vlastimir Lukas. Where is Ralph Arella? He's in 10th position at the moment, 1.5 seconds behind, so he needs to improve. Let's have a look at Nuno Miguel Abreu. He has improved in the first sector, 52.9. That's 2 tenths off of Lukas's pole time at the moment. The director's suggestions not really working as they should. Looks like that, but let's see. Sector 2, not bad either. He's only 5 tenths down, so you think Nuno Miguel will move up the order. There he goes across the line, goes into pole position, so a good 2nd sector for him, 55.8, and provisional pole is for him now. Can he clinch another pole position here during this race? Vlastimir Lukas is quicker. Oh, gets a bit out of shape out of the chicane. Did he lose a lot of time with that? On the power. And a dash to the line. Can he improve? No, he doesn't. So that last chicane costing Vlastimir Lukas a potential pole position. I think he can either start a new lap now or abort this one and go out for a new lap. Arella still in 11th position. He's not showing up on my timing screens either. Let's have a quick look to be sure. He is driving around. The sectors are not looking great for him. Not to trouble the top 3 at least. Will Arella improve? That's the question. No, he doesn't. He stays in 11th position. But Vlastimir Lukas is flying again, using every bit of track that he can find. It's right on board with him. just needs to get the braking done for the final chicane. That's most difficult. As a second sector, very good second sector. This will be provisional pole for him, and he will not have time to set another lap. So this is it for Vlastimir Lucas. Oh, and he aborts, but he's too late. He will be too late. There's no time, not enough time. Maybe he could still squeeze in a lap, but that will not be easy. Anyway, his teammate David Dor, he's in 6th at the moment, setting green sector times, getting a bit out of shape as well. Everybody is pushing like hell, and keep in mind this is a 100-minute race, so qualifying is important but not crucial in this case. Quickly see Andre Mol bounces over the curbs. David Dor, also Ralph, both Miguel Abreu and Horvat going quicker in the final stages of this this session. Abreu and Horvat both get in front of Lukas. Abreu is already in pole position. Can he extend his lead as he did so many times this season already? Manojlovic is not on track anymore, so we don't need to worry about him in this case. Also Simon Fillingham, not on track anymore. Heartbreaking. Very tidy by Nuno Miguel Abreu. Now let's see what Robert Horvat does in front. He goes into pole position. Can Nuno Miguel? Yes, he pips Robert Horvat 55.4. Well clear of Horvat and Lukas now. So the battle for the championship currently between Horvat and Lukas. Ralph Arella not looking great, but maybe he can still pull something out of his sleeves. David Dor is behind Ralph Arella in the yellow Porsche. Quite early braking there for David. Not sure if he will be able to improve. There's nobody going quicker overall, so it looks like Abreu will take another pole. Dor up into 4th, Arella up into 8th, so he gets a bit closer, but not enough. I think Vlastimir Lucas was the last one to get out on track and set a new lap. Can he cross the finish line with enough with time to go? Because when the timer reaches 0, that's session over. So we'll have to see. Could be that the timing screens already pop up when he is about to cross the finish line. We'll have to deal with that, but let's see what happens there. Who's still on track? Miguel Abreu and Horvat are still on track, but not doing anything special. Good final sector. Let's stay with Lukas because he could well be. There's 15 seconds left, so he will make it to the end. Will he move up into P1? Yes, he does. No, he moves up into second, 40 thousandths of a second clear of Nuno Miguel Abreu. So our starting order will be Abreu, Lukas, Horvat and Dor, which is well, a good opportunity for BH Racing to put some pressure on 77 for the team's championship. Still, we'll have to follow that throughout this race, and we will have time enough to do that. I will be right back with you for the start of the race. So here we are. We have Vlastimir Lucas on the left, Nuno Miguel Abreu on the right. Lights are on. And off we go. It's a decent start for Lucas. No, Lucas goes down into third position. It's Horvat on the outside. Looks to be in front. No, he will be on the outside, so we'll have to see. Oh, there's a bit of drama there, but everybody gets going again. Abreu stays in front, and it's Horvat, Lukas and Manojlovic. So Horvat passing Lukas in these opening stages, and Ralph Arella already moving up into P5, P6, battling it out with Rick Binnersley. So Ralph Arella having a good start and moving up the order. Everybody got through turns 1, the first sector, cleanly, so that's always nice to see. Here's the whole pack bunched up. Very nice to see indeed. So Vlastimir Lucas is now the chaser. He needs to chase Robert Horvat and get past him to have a chance. He's very, very close. Horvat goes defensive, fends him off without a problem for now. So that's the end of lap 1, and this is our running order. Nuno Miguel Abreu, Robert Horvat, Vlastimir Lucas, then it's Nemanja Manojlovic with already a bit of a gap behind him. Then it's Ralph Arella, who's not too far back. Rick Binnersley having a good start, moving up into P6. Then it's David Dore, who got shuffled back a bit in the opening stages, so 77 again, taking advantage of the start to get into a good position for the team's championship. Then it's Greg Metcalf, Jack Camaletto, Simon Fillingham, Janos Migas as well, then Andre Mol, and it's Jack Camaletto, our first AM Cup driver. Andre Mol is in second. And we have Marko Talevski, Jas Forsberg, Jürgen Walby, our current championship leader, is in third in the AM Cup. Then it's Rob Jones and Stefano Merazzi side by side. Clive Britton, David Kochurek, Yevgeny Lazarenko, Callum Morgan in the McLaren, and then Ethan Kerley missing his front splitter. That's very unfortunate. Good thing is, he has time enough to make up for lost ground, but Vlastimir Lucas trying to get past Robert Horvat by all means necessary, and he got past, but there was some contact there. Not sure if that was legitimate. Robert Horvat flashing his lights, so not happy with that. From the onboard it looked like Lucas didn't take an extraordinary line, but he did touch Horvat, so this will spice things up, that's for sure. Now, what is the difference between second and third? That's 8 points. So that means advantage Lukáš for now, and he also took second position in qualifying, so that's an extra 6 points versus 3 for Robert Horvat. So it's an 11-point gain for Vlastimir Lukáš, which by my calculations means that he would currently take the championship. But it's very, very early, we're only 5 minutes into this race, so everything or anything can still happen. Nuno Miguel Abreu has a healthy gap already after 2.5 laps, 2.5 seconds. Let's see what he can do. He has been in this position many times in this season, and luck didn't go his way so far. So let's see if he can make it work today. Vlastimir Lukáš clearly quicker than Robert Horvat at the moment, clearing him immediately, and he was all over him when he was behind. So he is a bit quicker. We'll have to see what that means in the future. Let me quickly check the results from Slovakia Ring, or other 100-minute race. That was won by Robert Horvat, 16 seconds in front of Jas Forsberg and Ralph Arella. So 77 looking good in that 100-minute race, but it's a completely different track. So let's have a quick look, because things are heating up here a bit further down the field as we see the leaders coming through. Everything settling down just a little bit. Everybody getting into their rhythm and trying to gauge if people behind or in front are slower or quicker. Let's have a quick look. Not sure what the strategy was there, as Walby trying to get past Forsberg, but Jas having none of that and defending. Walby in the Mercedes, looking very quick there behind the Corvette. Forsberg's teammate Manojlovic, he is in 4th, trailing Robert Horvat, not too far behind him. So that's looking good. And Rick Binnersley matching Ralph Arella. Oh, and there's a collision between Metcalf and Dorre. Metcalf was behind, he got into the back of Dorre. Metcalf gets going again. Dorre is already back underway. Yep, there he is. So unfortunate incident there between the two as they drop down, Dorre to 11th and Greg Metcalf down into 15th. So those are two names to watch and see if they can move up the grid. Now thinking back to Slovakia Ring, I think we saw a one-stop strategy there working out for Robert Horvat, but that was not at all straightforward, so we'll have to see if everybody will try that here as well. Track position is very important, as we saw last time around as well, so if you can manage on a one-stop, then that is a good way to go, because time lost in the pits is quite significant, so you want to spend as less time as you can in that. Oh, Dorre braking late, so maybe a bit of trouble with his car, or just loss of concentration at the moment. Most importantly, if I'm not mistaken at least, let's see. In the AM Cup, Jack Camiletto, he is in 3rd in the championship. And he is in 1st here for this race. So looking good for him. Andre Mol in 2nd and Jürgen Walby in 3rd. He's getting close to Andre Mol now. So that's one to watch as well. If you are watching and you have any questions, just let us know, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We have Yevgeny Lazarenko, our first retirement of this last race of the season, and we have also Greg Metcalf, I think that is, in the man filter, yeah, coming in, as well as not Ethan Kirley, he's still going, but his teammate Marko Talevski, yeah, and Metcalf lost his front splitter in that incident with David Dore, had to drive all the way around the track to get back to the pits, so not ideal, but yeah, well, I don't think he can make it on fuel unless, well, there's 90 minutes left, and the last 90-minute race, if I'm not mistaken, once again was driven. No, they had to do a stop. It's a 75-minute race that could be done on 1 tank of fuel, so Greg still needs to get into the pits. So here we have our multicultural aspect of the league. As you can see, many different nationalities in this league. And here are our top 3. Nuno Miguel Abreu, not getting further away from Vlastimir Lucas, as Arella and Manojlovic. Arella wants to get past Manojlovic for 4th position and get close to his teammate, because the top 3 at the moment are, well, ever so slightly running away. You want to try and stay as close as you can. Forsberg, also lost the front splitter. Quite a lot of incidents here in this race, it seems. Quite a lot of contact. Everybody trying to make the best out of this last race of the season and costing quite a bit of time. Greg Metcalf gains a position on Jas Forsberg, who's still in the pits. So that's unfortunate. David Dore is already back up into 10th position, so he doesn't seem to have a big problem with the car. Back of his car looks quite good as well. He's being chased by Jürgen Walby, who, as you can see, got past Andre Mol. He's right behind. Oh, David Dore going very wide. Can Walby make a pass there? Yes, he does. Can Walby make 2 passes? Going into the chicane. No, he has to leave space for Simon Fillingham ahead, but David Dore back into P11. Outside braking and too late for Simon Fillingham. He loses 2 positions in the process to Walby and Dore. Now it will be his task to cling onto these guys and stay with them, as I'm pretty sure they will move up the grid with their normal pace. They have Migash, also very quick, and Camaletto in front, leader of the AM Cup in this race at the moment, doing very well. Normally he has a bit less pace than Walby and Dore, from experience in these last few races. So let's see if they can make that work. Meanwhile, the gap at the front, Vlastimir Lucas is closing down the gap on Nuno Miguel Abreu ever so slightly. So the last lap was a couple of thousandths quicker. Robert Horvat is not too far back, but almost 1.5 seconds back. So gaps in front. Oh, as we have one of the Corvettes, so that could be Marko Talevski. No, it's not. It's maybe Ethan Kearley. No, Marko Talevski retired his car, unfortunately. So that's another retirement, as we almost miss Ralph Orella and Manojlovic. They're absolutely side by side, but Orella has the inside line. Good straight line speed from the Corvette. Can he get the braking done? Yes, he can. Turns in. Can he get on the power? Yes, he can. Very nice defensive moves by Manojlovic there. I thought he had lost the place, but very good driving by him. Orella is trying everything he can to get past. Every different line he can take, he is taking. So he does have some pace advantage, but at the moment it's not giving him any positions. So in terms of the team's championship, currently it's straightforward. 77 with Orella and Horvat are doing better than Lukas and Dore, so they will extend their lead and take that championship at the moment, if everything stays as it is. Lukas will take the Drivers' Championship if he can keep Robert Horvat at bay. That's his only concern at the moment. And Andre Mol still driving around on the same lap, right behind Simon Fillingham, by the way, for the Ironman Championship. And at the moment, Jürgen Walby is in second in the AM Cup for this race, so he will take the AM Cup title. But still 80 minutes of racing to go. Plenty of stuff that can go wrong for any of these drivers, so we'll have to follow the guys around as Orella tries to go around the outside of the final turn and keeps it there. Yes, he keeps it there, but the Corvette clearly better on the straight, and that of course hurts Orella as he needs to try and get past here in these hard braking zones into turn 1 or into the final chicane. And he can't do that at the moment. Maybe it's a lower wing setting for the Corvette, maybe it's just that little bit more power. Also have a quick look here at David Dore and Walby, as I said, getting close to Janusz Migasz in the Mercedes. Can they move past him? They have Jack Camaletto right in front there in the screen, as you could see. Vlastimir Lucas was a bit quicker on the last lap, 2/10 even, but seems to have dropped back a little bit, so maybe it's a tiny mistake for him. That could be the case. As I just missed, I'll be going past Dora and Migash, slowing down here. So you guys probably saw what happened there. I was looking at the timing screens. Everybody waving around a little bit on the straight. But anyway, we have Walby in 8th, Dora in 9th. Let's see which tricks Dora has up his sleeve. Schumacher S, always a big challenge in these cars. It's just about flat out if you get it right. You want to do that. A bit of a slide there for Walby. And another worthy mention there, Rick Binnersley. Able to stay with Arella and Manojlovic at the moment. Just hanging back and having a look at how these guys are battling it out. They are slowing each other down, Manojlovic and Arella. And Binnersley just keeping a bit of distance to take advantage if these two would collide. But well, Arella, one of our cleanest drivers in the league. So a contact is can happen, but is not very likely with him at the wheel of the chasing Porsche. Yeah, a good place to be in for Binnersley. He has a 7-second gap behind. Quickly drive on board with Arella in the Porsche. I'm eager to see what kind of strategies the front runners will apply. Morgan and Kochurek very close as well. A quick look here, side by side. And Morgan goes through on the inside, it seems. Yes, he does in the McLaren. Kochurek losing it there at the exit and losing some time. Let's see if we see that extra power or lower wing of the Corvette in action. On the power simultaneously, and then we see just in the acceleration zone getting a bit ahead, and well, that's an issue for Arella. Very difficult to get past. Manojlovic taking very shallow lines, as Horvat and Lukáš are now once again within 1 second of each other. Looking at the fastest lap times, it's Abreu and Lukáš, the only drivers into the 56s. 56.7 for Abreu, 56.9 for Lukáš, and all the rest of the drivers into the 57s or lower, or higher I must say. So the top two also potentially quickest cars on track. But Robert Horvat is not giving up, he's not giving up a second title in a row in the GT3 championship here at RRLeagues. Onto main straight. And once again Arella here around the final corner, and Rick Binnersley staying with them. So these guys already 12 seconds behind our top three. Let's have a quick look here at the track map and see where everybody is. So we have our race leader coming up on Ethan Kearley in 19th position, and so that's a bit of traffic for the top three drivers. They just got past Jas Forsberg, who's running around in 20th position after being in the pits for a broken front splitter. For the rest, everything is still looking quite close for everyone. Let's have a quick look from the dash cam of Abreu. That's Ethan Kearley in front. Can he get through without any issues? Kearley going a bit wide, and he gets past. Then we have Lukáš and Horvat. Let's drive with Horvat and see what happens. And they will catch Ethan on main straight, so that shouldn't be a big issue. Very close to the wall there for Horvat. Now what will happen? Will Kearley also let Horvat through or not? Yes, he does. It's a good call. Could have really interfered with that lead battle, but chose not to, which is a wise decision. And here's Arella once again. Taking the wide line. Can he do the undercut? On the power early. Of course, this corner here is quite easy to defend, so he needs to get on the power early here. And well, it's really a dive up the inside, which is not really Arella's style, but it's an option to get past here in this section. And Binnersley getting ever so slightly closer. He's within 1 second now. Also, Jack Camiletto is has just been passed by David Dorre. So everybody settling into their natural positions. Now let's say we have 70 minutes left on the clock. Let us know if you have any questions about our league. As I said, on the 11th of December our new series will be announced, which will be a Race Room Racing Experience Championship Series. some nice things in store for you, so keep on the lookout for that. Series will start in January 2020, so it gives you more than time enough to get the cars, get the tracks in these discount periods, get practicing and join our league to make sure we have full grids, because we always have full grids at the beginning of the seasons, but now, well, 22 is not bad, but it could be 36. Just saying, there are 36 drivers signed up on this championship, but inevitably people drop out of these championships, so we need as many reserve drivers as we can as well to fill up the gaps. Well, once again really go for a dive of the inside now. He does not, he just stays behind. The gap between Horvat and Lukáš, again over 2 seconds. And this could get interesting. They're coming up on Ethan Kearley as well now, and coming up to the hairpin right-hander. Can traffic mean something for RRLeagues here in this case? I think Kearley will let them both past. Or not, no he won't, so that will compromise Manojlovic through the Schumacher S, and it won't compromise RRLeagues. He's not close enough, I think. Shows his nose, but oh, very late on the brakes. Just a small tap, well, quite a big tap, but no harm done. Everybody can keep racing. So that was potential move for RRLeagues, but he just couldn't take advantage of it. Just not close enough, not enough of a speed difference between the two to get the move done. So we missed it a bit, but Jürgen Walby has moved up the grid together with David Dorre and got past Jack Camaletto, so he's now back into the lead of the AM Cup. Let's have a quick look. Walby has missed one race so far, won 5, and took second spot in class in the last race at Bathurst. So a very good track record for him. RRLeagues putting the pressure on Manojlovic. Don't think there's any upcoming traffic. It's not Horvat ahead. Who is that ahead of these guys? It's Forsberg in 19th. Yeah. So coming up on Forsberg, that's Manojlovic's teammate. Now, could get interesting. Not saying there will be some dirty tactics or anything, but if they happen to catch Chaz at the wrong time, and Manojlovic can get through and RRLeagues needs to slot him behind, I'm pretty sure that could be arranged. The gaps at the front staying approximately the same. A bit wide there for Manojlovic, but yeah, that seems to be his line. As we have Morgan and Greg Metcalf battling it out as well. Greg with a fresh set of rubber, I think, as well, and a new front splitter. Can he get past Callum Morgan into the braking zone? Oh, small contact there as he was moving to the right, Greg, but he gets past Callum Morgan for P16 and moving up the grid. He now has a 20 or 19 second gap to overcome to get to Rob Jones. And let's see what Greg can do by the end of this race. The other closest battle we have at the moment is Ralph Arella and Manojlovic, and Robert Horvat is keeping Vlastimir Lucas honest. Any small mistake in the top 3 will mean a position change, so everything is still to play for. And remember, Lucas and Horvat are P2 and P1 in the championship, so Horvat is our championship leader at the moment with a 3-point advantage only, so the driver that finishes in front will take the championship. It's as simple as that. Arella is also involved, but he's in 3rd in the championship, so he would need to finish in front of both Lucas and Horvat and take more than one position in front of these guys. Manojlovic already 16 seconds off of our top 3. So battling with Arella, not helping his pace. That's a fact. As we reach almost the 1 hour to go mark in this championship. We have 40 minutes already done. We have a good view of where everybody is. Gaps are not huge. Metcalf was in the pits already for repairs, Forsberg as well, Kirli as well, but they are still relatively there or thereabouts with everybody. So we have this battle brewing, and right behind it's Jürgen Walby and Rick Binnersley. So Rick dropping just a little bit back from Manojlovic and Arella, and Walby moving up very, very quickly together with David Dor. Oh, Arella on the inside. Can he make that stick? He is in front at the moment. He is in front. And he is all the way in front. Will Manojlovic go for the inside? He gets his braking done. Arella has the inside line now for the next turn, so currently it's Arella in P4 after a very patient period behind Manojlovic, and now he needs to get past Jas Forsberg, Manojlovic's teammate, as soon as he can. The gap already 6/10. And you see Forsberg's front has seen better days. Oh, Walby and Binnersley. Walby was momentarily in front, but he's back behind. So Arella now 17 seconds off his teammate Robert Horvat. 3rd and 4th, not bad. Can he somehow make up that deficit? Everything closing down a little bit except for the gap at the front, 4.2 seconds between Abreu and Lucas, but the gap between Lucas and Horvat under 1 second, so we'll have to monitor that. We'll be on the inside, but now it's Binnersley was on the inside, but he got past already Walby before the braking zone, so it's Walby up into P5 and for a Binnersley almost going into the pits there. I think he will lose position to Dore then in this case, or not. Manojlovic is in the pits. Manojlovic is in the pits, and also where's Horvat? We have lost Horvat. Oh no, that's just such a shame for the championship. We lost Horvat with a connection issue. I fear he's not on my timing screens anymore. Oh, that's such a bummer for Horvat. That means that the battle for the championship is essentially between Lucas and RRLeagues now, and they are as well in second and third. But I was saying Manojlovic is the first one to blink from the top 5. He was into the pits now, and he's going for a 60-minute dash to the line to finish off this championship for SRT. Oh boy, what a bummer. Yeah, Horvat confirming he has dropped out of the race. Very, very unfortunate for our championship leader and our current title holder. But okay, well, we'll have to move on from that technical drama there for Robert Horvat. Very unfortunate to have such a tight championship decided with such bad luck. I would have preferred, and I think Lucas as well would have preferred to battle it out on track, but it wasn't meant to be. So let's see, we have Binnersley as well in the pits, so he follows suit with Manojlovic. We'll have to see where he comes out. Just looking at Lucas and RRLeagues in comparison, RRLeagues is 20 seconds behind, so that's quite a big margin. Lucas is also quicker in the best laps, and he is currently also 0.2 quicker on the last lap than RRLeagues, so nothing really in favor of RRLeagues at the moment, but maybe he can get us something special. Here's Manojlovic already getting past, and Binnersley still has to get going, so Binnersley losing quite a bit of time to Manojlovic. He was right there with RRLeagues and Manojlovic. Now he's almost 20 seconds behind, so or he did something special in his pit stop, or well, I don't know, Manojlovic didn't. So everything in terms of strategy now up on his head, filling him in P10, followed by Stefano Merazzi, and right behind Clive Britton. It's a nice little battle pack, as Manojlovic is trying to get past Rob Jones, a late addition to the championship, and up on the inside here, very nicely done for Manojlovic. Abreu and Lucas also up to 6 seconds now. Here's that battle pack. Andre Mol, Clive Britton, Simon Fillingham and Stefano Merazzi. All very, very closely following each other. Janusz Migas is in the pits as well. Rick Binnersley trying to get past Callum Morgan. Meanwhile, he will have to have good braking skills to get past. Callum stays on the inside, but good move by Binnersley to get past. Oh, doesn't get onto the power as early as he can and loses out. He'll have to try again. Drive through for Janusz Migas, so he will drop down after this one. He's right in front of Binnersley and Morgan now, but he will have to drive through the pit lane and lose some time. Now I'm thinking, if I'm Arella, I would just come into the pits. Come into the pits now, try to get a bit of an undercut. Go all out in the opening stages of your stint and try to get that gap as small as possible to Vlastimir Lucas. Arella now taking 3/10 on the last lap. So Arella upping his pace, 59.5 versus a 59.8. 59.0 for our race leader Nuno Miguel Abreu, so he's still the quickest car on the track. And here is that four-way battle with Andre Mol third in the AMP Cup, following Jack Camaletto, and Walby up into fourth now. So question will be Manojlovic. What is he doing in terms of lap time? 57.3 on the last lap. So he is, as I said, he is getting that undercut on the top drivers. He was around Arella, so he is now taking some time out of him. In my opinion, Arella should react to Manojlovic and then maybe have the chance to put Vlastimir Lucas under pressure, although I think if Lucas sees that, he will immediately pit as well. But tires should quite easily last 50 to 60 minutes, so there's no harm in pitting now. I think it's the only chance, unless he wants to push Vlastimir Lucas to the absolute limit in the final stages, but making up 20 seconds in that is not very easy. Anyway, once again, 1/10 quicker for Arella on the last lap. Abreu still in the 58s, so Abreu in the final stages of this stint for him, really setting the pace. And Fillingham in 9th. This is the closest battle pack on the track. And not too many people coming into the pits from those front runners either. So well, we'll have to see. What's Manojlovic's last lap time? A 58.0. Well, that is still 1.6 seconds quicker than P2 and P3. So that's not bad. That's better than 1/10. As as we are halfway through the race. 50 minutes to go. 50 minutes done in the last 50 minutes of this championship. Through the Schumacher is always a challenge. There's a nice variety of cars. We have Mercedes, Audi, Porsche in the top 3. And then here on screen we have Mercedes, Corvette, McLaren, Mercedes. Oh, and in terms of the Teams Championship, I'm not sure, but this could well mean that BH Racing still has a chance. I can't do the calculations right now, but with Horvat dropping out, it's only Arella getting points for the team, and Lukáš is in second, Dor in fifth. That's a good spot to be in for a team. They could well take a double. As we have Andre Mol, Simon Fillingham and Stefano Merazzi all in the pits. So those were all three together. Let's see who has the best pit stop. 3/10 quicker for Arella once again. So okay, well, he can prove me wrong. If he is quicker at this point, it can only help him. That's for sure. Merazzi gets going. Fillingham still. Yeah, so they stay as they were. Andre Mol, Fillingham and Merazzi. Those three. Clive Britton, he is still circulating on track. So let's see when he comes into the pits what happens there. As the gap between P1 and P2 grows to over 10 seconds. And Arella is into the pits. This is an important one. Arella in the pits, Dore as well in the pits, and we'll have to see where Manojlovic ends up in relation with these guys. Manojlovic already in the last sector almost of the track. And Vlastimir Lukáš stays out as well. So Manojlovic on main straight, Arella still on the jacks, Dore still on the jacks, so Manojlovic will pass them all. That's a fact. Arella is driving. Yeah, we will end up, well, close to 10 seconds behind Manojlovic. So can Manojlovic stir things up with Vlastimir Lukáš? That will be the question. It will be interesting to see what he can do there. Dore as well out of the pits, 12 seconds behind Arella. That's about where I think he was, more or less. Here's Lukáš. Yeah, he's reacting. Lukáš reacting to Ralph Arella in the pits. Be careful to not get a speeding penalty. As also Clive Britton. Just saw him coming out of the pits, but he gets past. No, Andre Mol was behind. Fillingham was chasing Britton down, and it's as close as ever, but Britton stays in front for now. I also saw Abreu in the pits. Can he have a decent pit stop and just come out in front? That's all he wishes for, of course. Lukáš in the pits, Walby in the pits as well. When does Lukáš get going again? Abreu gets going. So Lukáš will follow suit quite quickly. Yes, he does. Still needs to get to the end of the pit lane. The gap to RRLeagues, not sure. There's Manojlovic. Yeah, Manojlovic 8 seconds. Well, let's say 7 seconds behind. And Abreu lost about 3 seconds in the pits to Lucas. The gap back to RRLeagues is about 14 seconds, so he did gain as well from that pit cycle. Now it's a race to the end. Normally these guys don't need any fuel, they don't need any tires for the end of the race, so they have 45 minutes of sprint racing and trying to get close to the race lead. As I said, just to recap, Andre Mol here, this battle pack, these 4 are still quite together. Andre Mol, Clive Britton, Simon Fillingham and Merazzi setting almost identical pit stop times and coming out as one in P10, 11, 12 and 13. Very nice to see that. Now we'll have to monitor the lap times of the top 4 drivers. That's most important here, in my opinion. Let's have a quick look at the standings. So RRLeagues to Vlastimir Lucas, that's 14 points. RRLeagues was not in the top 3 in qualifying, so he has no points for that. Vlastimir Lucas was in 2nd, so he will get points there. So he will extend that lead with 6 points. That means it's a 20-second gap, a 20 point gap, sorry. 20-point gap. If we look at scoring, yeah, then RRLeagues really needs something special. He doesn't just need to finish in front of Lucas, he needs Lucas to be quite a bit behind him as well. So we'll have to see if that is something that becomes a possibility throughout the race. But at the moment, it's RRLeagues firmly in 2nd position, and with one hand on the title now, with Robert Horvat dropping out due to technical issues, unfortunately. But of course, those disconnections or technical issues are just the same as any mechanical failures in real racing, so it's something we have to live with. Of course, it's a bitter pill for sure for the last race of the championship, if you are in the lead and if you are in with a fighting chance to get your 2nd GT3 title here at RRL. The championship is very hard fought, very high driving standards, and very quick drivers at the front, that's for sure. So it is a nice title to get. Lucas closing the gap down to Abreu, actually. 58.5 for Abreu, 57.3 for Lucas, so that's 1.2 seconds. And then we have a 58.7 for Manojlovic and a 57.4 for RRLeagues. So RRLeagues matching Lucas's lap times at the moment. And a 56.6 for Jürgen Walby, fastest lap of the race overall. So our AMP Cup leader and championship contender, championship leader, doing very, very well to get P5 here at the moment with 40 minutes to go. Time goes by so quickly here during this race. It will end very, very soon. but the gap between Lukas and Arella is still about 15 seconds, so not a big not any big changes there. I will leave you with this battle, and I'll be back very, very soon. Britton and Fillingham not giving each other an inch here, as I think we have Ethan Kirley retiring from this race, unfortunately. Yes, we have, and as I was saying, Fillingham and Britton for P11, the fight. Very, very close indeed. So the gap at the front back up to 8 seconds. The gap between Lukas and Arella remains at about 15 seconds, but the gap between Manojlovic and Arella now around 1 second. So Arella got past Manojlovic before the pit stops, but lost the position again due to an undercut. Now he has to do it all over again, so unfortunately for him, I think he will still, unless if he gets past very quickly, fine, but if he needs to fight as hard as before, he will lose even more time to Vlastimir Lukas in front. But anyway, speculations aside, we'll have to see what happens here. For sure, Manojlovic will try to defend that final podium spot with everything that he has. I think they have Callum Morgan in front of them. If I spot that livery correctly. Oh, good run for Arella, good run. He's back on the inside, that's how he passed him earlier, and that's a pass by Arella. Very nicely done. He knew where to get him, and he did it. So let's see if he can stay in front in the braking zone. I think he will. Oh, Manojlovic goes for the inside, but he needs to slot back in behind. Very nicely done by Arella. Gap only increased to 16.5 seconds now. So still has his work cut out for him, but he has it all in his own hands now. Just needs to put his head down. I think he has a bit more pace than Manojlovic, so he shouldn't have to worry about him a lot. We'll see how that develops, but can he get close to Vlastimir Lucas? He has 35 minutes left. That seems like a lot, but for this kind of a gap, that isn't. So we'll have to see. In any case, he needs Lucas to drop back down further than third position. He needs at least 2 cars, I think. At least 2 cars between them to have a fighting chance, or a mathematical chance of taking the championship from him. So we'll have to keep an eye out for the lap times. Of 56.1 for Nuno Miguel Abreu on the last lap. That's an absolute best lap time for him. Jürgen Walby with a 56.2 not so long ago. So Walby and Abreu flying, and Walby could well be on Manojlovic's tail very soon. We see here on the screen that's Walby in the bright yellow Mercedes in the background. So there are some possibilities there. Now, this battle as well is heating up a bit. Clive Britton and Fillingham right on the tail of Andre Mol now. He is in third position in the AM Cup. Jack Camiletto is in second. Walby is in first. And they have Rick Binnersley in seventh. No, sorry, they have Janusz Migasz in ninth in front of them, as we can see. So, what will come of this battle? Man to watch at the moment, as I already suspected. Jürgen Walby is now right on the tail of Nemanja Manojlovic. That went very, very quickly. Now can he get past as well? A bit of short shifting for Walby, it seems. Is he saving fuel and still setting those blistering lap times? That would be very special. But anyway, can he move up into P4? Maybe even up into P3. Once he gets past Manojlovic, if he can. Opportunities are there to be taken. And he looks to be very, very quick on the straight. Let's see if he can put it around the outside. through the hairpin. He keeps it there, but then he runs out of road. Needs to slot in behind. But there are plenty of passing opportunities here around the Nurburgring through the Schumacher S. If he gets a good run, he might have a look at the inside line here. Manojlovic goes defensive. A bit of a touch there. So Walby really wants to get past as soon as he can. He's doesn't seem at all worried about his first place in the AM Cup for now. Of course, he has a healthy lead in the championship. He can even lose a position in class, but he's up the inside into the chicane, gets it stopped and gets past Manojlovic. Very, very nicely done. And up into P4 now. Let's see. He was 6/10 quicker than Arella as well on the last lap. So he could trouble Arella by the end of this race. He has a 5.5 second gap to make up, as you can see here visually. Jürgen Walby, without any technical difficulties, will take the AM Cup championship. I'm quite sure of that, and it's well deserved as well. Meanwhile, it's getting closer and closer here. Mole, Britton and Fillingham covered by 1 second, and Migash in front. Is going slower than these guys behind him. And Walby already clearing Manojlovic. Gap already over 1.5 seconds. We were driving with Fillingham. Let's do that again. He has the best view of the track at the moment. This is always a very difficult left-hander. The car wants to understeer as well here. A bit of off-camber, and you want to try and get on the power as early as you can. And here as well, you want to get it to the left side to get this corner here as wide as possible to get on the power as early as possible. Once again, can Fillingham, Britton, can they get past Andre Mol? It seems like he's slightly holding these guys up. At least they can. They are close and they can stay close. So they have currently they have a pace advantage. On and off the brakes there for Clive Britton. A good run here through this section can give you some nice opportunities, as I must say Nuno Miguel Abreu is looking very, very good here. Oh, very late move by Fillingham. Doesn't get it subbed in time. He's lucky. Clive Britton doesn't spin out by that tap, but everything stays as it was, and they'll keep fighting for P10 in the end. Andre Mol is in P10. That's where they want to get, as we have completed 37 laps. Jürgen Walby just under 5 seconds now from Arella, hovering around 5 seconds, so he's not cruising to the back of him, but I'll have to keep an eye out for that. As I was saying, Nuno Miguel Abreu looking very consistent, very quick here in this race. No mistakes from him so far. So will the last race of the season be the one for him? Be the race that he can win after taking, I think, 6 pole positions in this championship? I wish it for him, but he still has to manage 25 minutes here, and dangers are around every corner. Let's have a quick look at the track map. Let's see if he's coming up on any traffic. There he is in the middle He's coming up on Greg Metcalf. Well, that could still take a while to get him, because Greg is not going slowly himself. So we'll have to see when he catches them. Now you can also see the gap visually. Lucas in P2, Arella in P3. It's quite a big gap. Arella doesn't see Lucas on the track at the moment, and that's mentally that's not really nice. It's nicer if you can see your prey that you're hunting. Once again, these guys closing up on Janos Migas still. 1.7 seconds between Mol and Migas. Oh, bit of a snap there. And Stefano Merazzi is not too far back from this pack as well, so this could become very, very interesting, as we have David Dore now also getting close to Manojlovic, and this could also be very important for the team's championship. I think BH Racing will get it in any case, because Horvat is not scoring any points, and well, he does score 3 points for his third place off the grid, I think, yeah. But Lucas and Dora are scoring good points here in this race. I think they will have the team's championship as well as the drivers' championship with Vlastimir Lucas if everything stays as it is. But it doesn't hurt for Dora to get up into P5, of course. Will be once again a bit quicker than Arella, but that gap not really coming down massively. As we saw in all of the races in this championship, there's always a bit of drama near the end, so don't expect the unexpected, I would say. Don't run away just yet. It's not over. I think there will be something special coming up still. Something the inaugural RRL Masters, GT3 Masters Championship has in store for us. As close as ever, filling in Britain, Mol, Migas, and also Jack Camaletto now right behind Rick Binnersley, Dorga right behind Manojlovic. Everything closing up. This is now a four-way battle, and if they start really battling, Merazzi will join the party as well. A good run onto the back straight for Fillingham. He's on the outside. He was later on the brakes last time around, but that seems to have just been a mistake. Can he get a good run through here like Arella did on Manojlovic? Doesn't. So he needs to stay behind for now. Who's quickest of this pack in terms of raw speed? Seems to be... Clive Britton has the fastest race lap, 57.9 at the moment. And David Dora, Manojlovic. Looks like they're alone on track. There's nobody in sight. Well, there are some cars in the background. That's Jack Camaletto, I think. 26 seconds behind as Manojlovic goes defensive once again. He doesn't want to let Dora pass so easily, and he knows he's vulnerable out of the chicane. That's what Arella proved 2 times, so I don't think he will make that mistake 3 times in this race. The gap, Abreu to Lucas, 15 seconds, 16 seconds almost. Oh, and a mistake by Dora. He saves it, doesn't get into the barriers, but drops back from Manojlovic and needs to try and get close once again. So this battle is over for now. Here's our little battle pack, as Jas Forsberg is coming up on Callum Morgan as well. Let's have a quick look at the track map. Abreu still hunting down Greg Metcalf to lap him. Looking at the Ironman, Andre Mol, Simon Fillingham still on the same lap, so it will be Andre Mol taking that one if he makes it to the end. Of course, he is involved in this little battle we're seeing here on track or on screen. He needs to make sure he isn't involved in any big incidents, because well, could mean he could lose the championship. Of course, Fillingham is right there with him, so he needs to just stay out of trouble, in my opinion. Was saying 15 seconds between Abreu and Lucas, 17 seconds between Lucas and Arella, so not really Arella not really closing in, so that will stay as it is if everything remains the same. Jürgen Walby, that gap now under 4 seconds for just a moment, so he is closing in, and he still has 16 minutes, which is still quite a bit of time for that kind of a gap. But let's see if Walby can climb onto the podium of this final race of the championship to celebrate his AM Cup championship victory. Fillingham now in front of Clive Britton, and looking at Andre Mol. And David Dora has closed down on Manojlovic once again. Forsberg as well in P17, close down on Callum Morgan. But Metcalf and Forsberg really compromised races for them due to their incidents at the start of the race, having to come into the pits in the opening stages. And well, they are still driving around, still having battles, so that's good, but well, not where they want to be. That's for sure. Let's have a quick look here at Dore, because he's looking left, right, and center to try and get past Manojlovic. And indeed, you saw it correctly. It took me all the way until the last race of the season to get the cockpit cameras to work. So that's one for you, Chaz. So no puking this time if you watch the stream afterwards. Fillingham as well. Oh, getting very crowdy indeed, with Kochurek getting out of the way into the hairpin down at the bottom of the hill. And Mirazzi just slightly hanging back from this group here. Janusz Migasz has managed to get out in front a little bit, as you can see. But Fillingham would really like to get a top 10 finish here at the final race of this season. Jürgen Walby now 2.5 seconds behind Arella, so we are still in for a battle for the podium by the end of the race. I'm quite certain of that. Oh, it's Migasz coming into the pits. Yeah, he had a drive-through for speeding, but I think he should have taken that already a long time ago. Anyway, if he's taking it now, that took a long time, but it moves Simon Fillingham up into P10. No, Migasz really stopping in his pit box, so he's not serving his drive-through penalty. He did that already, probably. Now it's Mol, Fillingham, Britain for P9, 10 and 11. Dore is still behind Manojlovic, Walby still behind Arella. Again, Dore very close. Oh, and they have Rob Jones in front. This could get interesting, as Manojlovic went a bit wide there. Rob Jones very alert to let these guys through. Very nicely done, although he could have lost a little bit less time for himself, but well, it is a learning process, and it's easier to say it from my seat here than if you are driving on the track. 10 minutes to go in this championship, and most championships are done and dusted if everything stays as it is. The biggest questions will be, can Jürgen Walby get onto the podium for this race? Can André Mol keep 9th position at the Nurburgring. And well, that's about it. Can Dora get past Manojlovic? That's what we're looking at. Those are the 3 big questions. But as I said, I suspect there might be something still coming up in the last 10 minutes of the race. Some drama in these tight battles for position. As we have completed 46 laps already. Miguel Abreu now 20 seconds clear of Lucas. So really in a class of his own. Walby matching Abreu actually. So Walby and Abreu fastest guys on the track at the moment. Lucas and Arella sandwiched in between them. Walby now within 1 second of Arella, so another one to keep an eye out on. Fillingham and Mol. Very close as well, and they're coming up on Jas Forsberg, I think, to lap. It's getting money time for Fillingham, Dora, Walby, Britton, Merazzi, maybe. Now is the time to make your move. This is maybe the move you will remember the championship by, so. Quick look at the body language of Walby versus Arella. Walby making up a 5.5 second gap in the last 20-25 minutes. It's all looking very, very tidy indeed through the Schumacher S, but yeah, well, tires are getting worn, and it looks like Arella is struggling more with that than Walby is. Oh. Move coming up, watch out. Oh, Walby slowing down, not going for the inside line. Wants to make a pass in another spot, I guess. Main straight probably, but now he's dropped back. So not sure what he was thinking there. To me it seemed quite clear that he could go for the inside line, but he opted not to. Just a quick look here at Fillingham versus Mol, and Britton right behind. He's sticking with these guys. So Fillingham passed him, but not running away, that's for sure. They stay as they are. Dora still trying to get past Manojlovic trying every trick in the book, as RRLeagues did. Manojlovic proving to be very hard to pass today. So let's see if Walby can get a good run once again. It's a bit further back now. Look at that straight line speed advantage of the Mercedes, closing in at a rate of knots, but not close enough now. Hopping over the curbs and onto the power as early as it can. But well, time is running out. 4 minutes to go. So I think that will be 3 more laps, considering Abreu is 40 seconds up the road. So 3 more laps to go for Jürgen Walby to get on the podium to celebrate his AM Cup Championship victory. It's now looking quite certain as well that André Mol will clinch the Ironman Cup. Vlastimir Lucas will take the Pro Drivers' Championship. And well, the only uncertainty for me is the Teams Championship. I think BH Racing will jump in front of 77 based on today's results and take that championship as well. So everything turned around for 77 and Robert Horvat. They had it right up there for grabs, but technical difficulties meant they will probably lose these 2 championships. But if you want to know for sure, stay tuned on our website for the championship winners announcements. Here's Walby once again. Doing a bit of short shifting, maybe he has a bit more pace in him, but well, he needs to be closer here on the back straight. I think that's his main passing opportunity. Of course, RRLeagues is no slouch, so there's no shame in not being able to pass him, but I feel Walby still has something left. Just needs to get close at the correct spots and try and force RRLeagues into a compromising position to try and get past him. David Dorre, meanwhile, 2 tenths behind. Manojlovic is still not finding a way past. .50 laps under our belts, and we are counting down. Let's see where Abreu is. 40 seconds to go, so he will start his final lap here after this one. He doesn't have time to wait to finish it off more quickly. Oh, Walby up the inside in that last section, but he needs to stay behind. Now he will get a good run here out of this turn. Let's see. as Fillingham as well has gotten past Andre Mol, so everything in the final seconds of this race, kicking off, final lap starting now, so it's now or never for Jürgen Walby. Where will he place his move? Where will David Dora place his move? Will there be any changes in the battle between Fillingham, Mol and Britain still? Fillingham will currently finish at the top of that group, but anything can still happen. Walby doesn't go for a dive bomb here into turn 1, so that's one opportunity gone. Arella is quicker through the corners. It's the straight lines where Walby needs to take advantage of. Needs to straighten out those curves as much as he can. He's over half a second back. He needs something special in the final 2 sectors of this race. Oh, Manojlovic in the pits, so he loses position to Dora. He didn't have enough fuel. That's what I'm getting from that. Yeah, just to the pits for a small splash and dash, but very unfortunate for Manojlovic to lose a P5 position like that. Walby, let's just stay with this battle. Abreu and Lucas will finish the race in first and second. But Walby now on the inside of Dora. Does he get the braking done? Yes, he does. Arella, sorry. And Walby goes through for a podium position. Now, can he keep it? Can he keep it? He does have the straight line advantage, so there shouldn't be any big moves from Arella. Going into the chicane, he's not close enough. Just showing his nose. Oh, Walby overshooting his braking point, cutting the chicane. This is nail-biting stuff. Can Arella get past Walby? No, he doesn't. Walby takes 3rd spot, but most importantly, I think Nuno Miguel Abreu wins his first GT3 race here at RRL after taking 6 pole positions in the championship. So a well-deserved win for Nuno Miguel Abreu. Very dominant performance by him. He will finish the race in front of a very, very strong Vlastimir Lucas, who will take the championship home with him. So many congratulations to you, Vlastimir. Even if Robert Horvat dropped out with technical difficulties, I do think Lucas would have given him a very tough time, and well, we will never know what would have happened, but a big congratulations to Vlastimir Lucas to take the championship, and well deserved as well. Jürgen Walby finished in 3rd and will win the AM Cup, so big congratulations to him as well. Very good consistency, and next season we hope to see you back battling with the pro guys as you have been doing already in this season. Ralph Arella finishing in 3rd for 77 and probably losing the team's championship, not due to him but due to technical difficulties of his teammate Robert Horvat. Then it's David Dora, Manojlovic, so those swapped around in the end. Jack Camaletto finishing in 2nd in the AM Cup, then Rick Binnersley, strong performance by him. Simon Fillingham getting that P9 finish. Andre Mol, Clive Britton, Stefano Merazzi, Greg Metcalf up into P13 from last in the opening stages. Then it's Rob Jones, Callum Morgan, Jas Forsberg, David Koczurek, last of the finishing drivers. And then we have Horvat, Migash, Kirli, Talevski and Lazarenko are non-finishers of today. So, as a recap, fastest lap and race winner Nuno Miguel Abreu are championship winners. Provisional are, let's have a quick look here. Those are the standings before this race. Vlastimir Lucas will take the Drivers' Championship. BH Racing will take the Team's Championship. Jürgen Walby, after another win, will take the AM Cup Championship, and Andre Mol, an AM Cup driver, by the way, will take the Ironman Championship. So, many thanks to all of you for watching our streams of this championship. If you haven't watched all of them, please go back and watch them. There are some cracking races in there. So fill up that inter-season time with those streams. So many thanks for watching. And most importantly, a new series will be announced on the 11th of December. So make sure to be there and subscribe or sign up for any of our series, because it will be great racing once again, as you have seen today and in all of our last streams. So that's it for the inaugural series or championship RRL GT3 Masters, and we will be back with more very soon. Have a good night and goodbye.